Hello and welcome to ReZourceman Daily. This is an E3 analysation special. I'm going to analyse E3. First up, of course, we have Sony. Actually no, sorry, I'll do Microsoft first, because I hadn't seen a huge amount of it, but I've seen some of it. One of the focuses of the Microsoft conference was the Kinect, which they showed a Star Wars game, with the oft-mocked lightsaber on motion, which is very strange because obviously lightsabers don't say that. Why could they not have done like when they do it in the films? I mean, yeah, there is a button, and that's of course one of the biggest flaws with the Kinect. But they could have done, because in the films they do go like boom like that and then press the button. They could have just done like that. If you do that on the Kinect, then that gets the old lightsaber out. But for some reason they didn't. Disneyland game, of course, again, I didn't really see much of that. Announcement of the Halo 4 game, which is the start of a new trilogy, apparently, which is interesting. I'm interested to see what they do with the genre series now that Bungie is not in control. So it should be quite interesting. As long as the team behind it can mimic Bungie's kind of engine and style, the gameplay style, I mean, then it should be a good game. Halo 3, of course, was definitely. Then it should be a good game. Then it should be a good game. Should be. Definitely one of my favourite games, actually. In terms of did I play it a lot online? Yeah, I played it loads online. It's probably my second most played game online, to be fair.
That's fantastic.
Are you going to add anything of actual worth to this episode, or are you just going to sit there like a fucking donkey with a sombrero on?
Well, I am a fucking donkey with a sombrero, you fat piece of Are you going to sit there and be a twat all episode?
Next up was Sony conference, Microsoft, Sony, PlayStation. What did they bring to the table? Well, PS3 games, obviously they showed Uncharted 3, the game of the year 2011. Just looks so good. It's just painfully awesome. I mean, the lighting, I don't even care for graphics, but the lighting effects on the ship, the movement, the storm, the water in the background, the water in the foreground, the water in the midground, the water in the front of the screen, the water splashed. Basically, the water was really good. The combat looks tweaked and amazing. Gunplay still looks fun. It looks more epic than Uncharted 2, which is not even a possible task. So I don't even know how they managed that. It's just going to be the best game. Oh, it probably will be. I mean, it looks better than Uncharted 2, and that was like the best game ever, basically. So it should be like the best game ever.
I like Chloe. She's awesome. Not like the bitch Elena. Shabbat!
Then, of course, I'm sure they showed some other games, but the big thing was the announcement of the PlayStation Vita. Or rather, we had details on it, but they hadn't revealed the name, and the Vita looks really good, to be honest. It's got a dual analog thumbstick buttons, which is brilliant. It's got a touchpad on the back, which is very interesting, would lead to innovation. A multi-touch screen, phenomenal graphics, motion control, Frugs, there's a Frug version, a Wi-Fi version, so you can, the price came out as well, reasonably priced, to be honest there, very reasonably priced, and of course Uncharted Golden Abyss, so gonna have to get it, and a new Super Stardust, like as if I could have like gone, oh okay, well it's a new Uncharted, but it won't be amazing, well it will be amazing, but I don't have to get it, but then they were like, oh yeah, well just in case you were in any doubt, oh here's Super Stardust as well. So blatant has to get.
Does one of the D's in Super Stardust HD stand for donkey?
No. Now Nintendo was probably my biggest disappointment. You can say what you like, you can say, oh yeah, it wasn't that bad or whatever. No, to be honest, yeah, it was that bad. Last year's E3 we had so many announcements completely out of the blue. Donkey Kong Country Returns, out of the blue, phenomenal. Kirby's Epic Yarn, and they showed the 3DS, and they showed loads of games for the 3DS. This year, okay, they revealed the Wii U, which is not that good, to be honest. If you're going to do innovation, do a massive innovation. It's not that big of an innovation. If you have a Vita and a PS3, basically that can actually do more than a Wii U. The name's stupid. Logo is even worse than the name. Basically, I want them to step away from the Wii, not move more towards it. You know, having the name be Wii U, that was the alarm bells. Alarm bells started ringing.
I wasn't even there and I heard your screams of desperation.
Oh, well, exactly, it says it all. The graphics are good, obviously, and I'm sure it'll be good, but just it doesn't bring a whole lot to the table. It really doesn't. And that controller, that'll just be the heaviest thing in the world. Seriously, I'm going to get repetitive wrist pain from holding heaviness. But yeah, the biggest disappointment for me was the 3DS. I mean, like I said, I was expecting games blowout, and we saw 4 games that we already knew about, and then they revealed one more on stage, Luigi's Mansion 2, which I guess it is quite a big deal. First, Luigi's Mansion game since the GameCube era. But it's not a huge epic, it doesn't appeal to everyone. I know Luigi's Mansion was definitely a niche game. Where are all the 3DS games? Where's my Advance Wars Dual Strike? Where is all the new innovative puzzle games? Where is the new IPs? Yeah, at the beginning, was it, I think it was Reggie who said, he was like, oh yes, we hear you. You want new. And then it's like, oh yeah, here's no new games whatsoever, just sequels. So it's like, what are you doing, Nintendo? So overall, a disappointing E3. I think that's the general consensus of everyone, really. What did you think, Provocative Donkey?
To be perfectly honest, I was bitterly disappointed with E3. There wasn't a donkey in sight.
But I suppose it's more like a kind of like a video game kind of convention. That wouldn't really.
Well, donkeys should be, they should have more of a part in life in general.
I mean, why don't you go to like a donkey farm?
I live on a donkey farm, so yeah.
3 days in, Tuesday to Wednesday, 3 days until Green Lantern. So, yeah, gonna explode now.
Does the D in Super Stardust HD mean for donkey?
Then, of course, I'm sure they showed some
Shaboy, 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 Shaboy.